Wonderful. Good afternoon. I'm super excited that you're joining in. My name is Ines Kaps, and I'm the founder of Passion for Projects Academy. Today, I have the joy to share some experience in managing difficult projects, managing heat. And yeah, let's dive in. So, who are you talking to, or who are you listening to, more precisely? Um, I'm Ines Kaps, and I have more than 23 years of international project management experience. And I've encountered quite a number of really difficult situations, very challenging situations, and I will go into that in a second. Um, and I love consulting, I love project management, and based on all my experience, I can say that I'm really enjoying anything that is difficult, that is challenging, where I see there are conflicts between stakeholders. And by now, I'm comfortable with dealing with difficult stakeholders. It wasn't always the case. I had very difficult challenges in the beginning of my career. I still have them, but I'm more confident and clear in managing them. And I've started the open doors of Passion for Projects Academy, and this is a coaching membership for women in project management. But I will go into this detail also later on. So, what are we talking about today? I would like to share some of my experiences, some of my situations where I had to deal with pressure, with heat, with conflicts. And I would also like to share with you the strategies that I've learned on how to deal with these very uncomfortable and very challenging situations. So we will dive into how I analyze the situation, so how I go about those situations, what I do, and how I could help. So imagine I think, 28, 29 years old. I had 4 or 5 years of project management experience in Germany, small, not always easy projects, but rather small projects. And I was appointed to become a project manager for a really large software implementation in France, where I always wanted to work in France. This was one of my dreams, and I was super excited to run this project. The situation was that the head of the IT of this pharmaceutical company wanted to implement a new finance system. The problem in this situation was that the head of finance did not want to have this system. So you had the IT person wanting to have a new system, and you had the head of finance who did not want to have the system. And I was basically in the middle. And as a young project manager, I did not understand the politics. I did not understand why those people were fighting, because obviously the software was a really cool thing and an improvement. But the finance person did not want to change. And they were fighting over power and over influence. And I didn't read the situation. I tried to do my job. I tried to do process analysis, design, and implementation. So all the activities you could do. But I never had a relationship with a finance person. And before, I think 2 months before the rollout, we faced technological difficulties, and there was a steering committee presentation that I had to do. And the finance person, after the steering committee, really shouted me down. He was a choleric person. He was a tall person. I'm rather small. And he was freaking out and really shouting me down. And this was a very painful experience because I did not know what I had done wrong, and I did not know how to deal with this situation and where the problem was. So this was very, very painful. A second situation years later was where I was leading also again a global rollout of a document management system. And it was again a really cool project, an incredible improvement to the processes. And it had the opportunity to link a lot of systems together, a lot of processes together, so to really have a massive positive impact for the client. The problem was, in brackets, that the new system, was designed to getting linked with SAP. So to really have a very, very intense interface and collaboration and integration with SAP. And the sponsor of this project didn't like SAP. So the project team and me, we had designed this really cool solution integrating with SAP, and the sponsor did not like in SAP. So it took forever and forever to get the approval and to get the decision. And all this delay about, well, what is your progress? When can we go live? When can we hire externals? So all this progress just really slowed down. And it costed not only time, but also money and a lot of reputation that we had built up with the business. So this was it heat? It was not heat with the sponsor, but it was increasing heat and frustration with the business stakeholders, because they wanted the results. They wanted to work in a more efficient way. And yeah, you could see the buildup of the heat during this process. And the third situation was about 2.5 years ago through a carve-out. So one pharmaceutical company was selling production units to another pharmaceutical company, and I was responsible for 3 of the work streams to actually carve out IT systems and integrate the systems into the new company. And the very, not pain, but the pressure we really faced was that the new management team did not make decisions in the pace that we required the decisions. So in this carve-out situation, you usually have a very tight time plan, a very tight deadline, and if you go beyond this deadline, it is very expensive. And in order to really deliver in such a high-paced situation, you need to get decisions. You need to get decisions fast in order to be able to deliver. That was one of the issues. We had people leaving, and we had technical issues because servers did not arrive. So you constantly got squeezed into a situation where we realized not possible to deliver on time. So how can we find a solution? And this pressure increased, and we really had to find solution and allow the people to work. So my job in this situation was basically being the buffer for the team, dealing with the pressure, trying to get the decisions as fast as possible, and still maintaining a place or a space for the team to work on their projects. So these were three different types of pressure I've experienced in my projects, and I'm sure that you have most likely similar projects or similar situations in one of your projects. So how do I go about these situations? So obviously I'm now much more experienced than I was when I did the project in France. And by now I'm also engaged, or I get onto projects when they are in a difficult situation in order to solve the situation and help the client. One of the most important elements, based on my experience, is setting expectations or expectation management. And you have in the project, obviously, various stakeholders. You have decision makers, you have the users or the business stakeholders, you have your project team, and you also have external partners in most cases. Yesterday, I did a webinar on managing politics, and there you could also see how I do stakeholder analysis and stakeholder profiling. Maybe this is valuable to you as well. So how do I go about expectation management? I really try to understand what the different type of stakeholders, what they expect, not only from the project, from the current or the original scope, and what they expect of the changed scope, changed timeline, and what they expect of me. And one of the most important elements here is not to assume, because I don't know what those people are thinking about. I don't know their problems. And if I assume their expectations are, they want me to, I don't know, prepare a project report every week or every day or every month, in a written or verbal form or whatever. My assumption has at least 50% of chances that I will be wrong. And I cannot run a project with being wrong 50% in 50% of the time. So in order to really manage expectations, I need to ask the people, what do you expect of me? And when they explain their expectations, I cannot only understand and really try to ask deeper questions. Is this really your expectation? Is this really your problem? But also trying to set the scene and set the expectations right, because usually the expectations are way too big, way too unrealistic to be able to be delivered. So I try to bring them down into, let's say, bring them down to earth. And I often explain that still with 23 years of experience, I don't have a magic wand. And I'm not in a business of making miracles. And I'm really using these words, and these words saying, I don't have a magic wand, they make you smile, and they make other people smile. And it's not a joke. The consequence is that people start thinking and say, well, maybe my expectation was too high or unrealistic. So it gives you the opportunity to discuss what is achievable, what is realistic, because you as a project manager, you want to deliver, you are responsible to deliver, and you're responsible for results. And in order to meet a target, you need to have a target that is achievable. We are here not about visions and dreaming high and you know, it's, we're not in the miracle phase. We are project managers to deliver results, to achieve a business benefit realization, and this needs to be realistic and measurable. So really getting the stakeholders to have realistic expectations is absolutely crucial. So what are then the strategies? Once you have the expectations, what could you do to actually work with the difficult situations, with the heat, with the pressure? When you're talking about to the managers, to the decision makers, and decision makers are not always obvious, and they're not always the sponsors. So decision makers are really the ones who can either push your project, so make it successful and fast, or who could cancel the project. So you really need to understand where the decision makers are. And these are the people you also need to have a close relationship with, because they will make decisions, they will decide, and it is essential that you also be able to escalate if they don't decide in time, in order for you to deliver on time. So it is essential that you have a close relationship and have really good communication. So you cannot communicate enough, and being honest, being transparent, and being close to those decision makers is absolutely essential. For the key business stakeholders, it's very similar. It's regular communication, being transparent if there is an error, a mistake, or a technical issue, a delay, or whatever. Trying to really establish a trustful relationship with those key business stakeholders, and involve them in the solution process. Because if those stakeholders are involved, they also see and experience the challenges, and maybe they have more innovative solutions or different solutions. So you basically have more intelligence at hand to solve your projects. For the project teams, in such situations, they are the ones who are often the most frustrated. They don't get the decisions, they cannot move forward. There are thousands of things that are of the highest priority. Everything is urgent, everything is important. So it's just no way of really working in a productive way. And then they get pushed, and you know, it's sometimes those project teams are really, it's not fun to work. And you as a project manager, or rather a project leader, are the one who is providing a buffer, a safe space for them to thrive. And it takes, on the one hand, leadership skills to motivate, engage with those team members, but also to help them prioritize. So what is really urgent and important? And maybe some users are coming, on the Monday, say, I have this issue, I have this issue. It's super urgent, it's super urgent. Help them to say no. Help them to really say, I understand it's a super for you a super important topic. I'll take it, I'll take care, but not now. So really help them to say no, to stick to the scope and not doing more. Really try, if you have designed a crystal clear new scope with the management, with the key business stakeholders, that is the thing that will needs to be delivered and nothing else. So really prioritize, prioritize, and get the decisions to get the priorities right. So this is basically your key target in really difficult situations. Tune down all the noise and focus on the most important task. Because once you deliver on those most important tasks, people build trust to you and build trust towards the project again. And it's similar with externals. Externals, in most cases, I'm an external too. So I would like to have, more engagements, additional projects, changing scope, sell and get more and more business with the client. But a lot, in particular, when it comes to implementing some technologies, I had the experience with externals when you say, or when the client says, I have this problem, is this possible? Can we do this in this software or in this technical solution? And in 99% of the cases, the external the technology experts will say, yes, it is possible. Of course, with technology, everything is possible. The point is not, is it technically possible, but does it make sense? Does it make sense for the business? Does it make sense for the process? And does it make sense for the project at this moment in time? So it's not a problem. It's not a question whether something is possible or not. It's rather the question, does it make sense for the business, for the process, for the project at this moment in time? And again, this is prioritization and saying no. Saying no, even though the business is, yeah, super, it's another button, it doesn't, well, it will solve the whole world. Maybe not. Maybe it's a super cool button, but for this process, for this moment in time, it's not now, maybe later, but not now, because you are in a hot project and you need to really deliver on the scope that you have defined to meet the expectation and not adding any new ideas, any new things. We're not in the business of making miracles. So these were, let's say, all the stakeholders that you're dealing with. And it's you. What can you do to thrive and be confident in this situation? If you're working on a really tough project with a lot of pressure, not only in terms of timelines, in terms of, difficult stakeholders, management, there can be conflicts all over the place and in very different situations. I find it sometimes really difficult to calm down and to take all the project topics not home with me. Being in the home office, I have them at home, but sometimes I struggle to calm my brain down when I go to bed. And the strategies I have is really trying to have a balance, have doing some sort of sports, it's either going for a run, going for the gym, or if I'm too exhausted, going for a walk, just really walking. And it's not only getting fresh air, but for me personally, the movement of walking helps me to reduce the stress. This is something that personally helps me a lot. So I have this activity that helps me to reduce stress, but I'm also having a support system where I know I am in a difficult situation. I can talk to my husband. I have colleagues that I can share my concerns, my problems with. Sometimes I had bosses where I could share my difficult situations, and in particular when there is way too much work, way too many projects, it is the job of your line manager to help you. So they have to take care of you as well. And it is not always easy to really push back and say, listen, I need support, I need help. This is way too much, too many clients, too many pressure, too many whatever, help me. But it is essential, it is really essential that you raise this topic and that you are firm in getting support. And maybe it is the way that the company cannot say yes to every project because they don't have enough people to deliver the projects. Also very difficult to say no if a client says, I want a project with you. So having your support system is nothing, or developing a support system is nothing that happens overnight. And it is individual for every one of us. Some people want to talk with their partners, some people want to talk with their colleagues or with friends, or I sometimes also have coaches that I talk to and say, listen, I have this very difficult situation. Maybe you are in a mentor-mentee relationship and you can help. So really establish your support system that helps you not only with providing advice, but also with providing energy, encouragement, positive energy. So where you are not drained of energy, but you're receiving energy. And really also try to understand, where do you get energy? Often these difficult projects are draining your energy. That's a fact. But you also need to understand yourself and say, where do I get energy? And I also get a lot of energy out of these difficult projects because there are these small situations where people tell me, listen, I had this success, or this is working well. So it's in terms of the volume, maybe a fraction of situations where something is really working out. And hopefully this fraction of situation over time is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, because you're delivering a really, really, really cool project. But in tough times, it's a fraction. And I'm soaking in all this information and really, building up the confidence, the energy that I need to inject into the project team and inject into the project itself. So these are the strategies that I've built, and maybe they are valuable or interesting to you. If you have questions or remarks, either drop them in the comments or ping me, send me an email. I'm more than happy to have a conversation. So implementing the strategies, what does this mean? It's basically building trust. is building trust not only with the decision makers, with the stakeholders, with your team. That is where you build the foundation, and then you really can, you then can make miracles all together with the different stakeholders. Establishing your network, establishing the network not only with your support network, but also within your the stakeholders of your projects. So that is the networking piece that is absolutely important for you as a project leader. And the third element is really asking for support. You don't have to solve everything. You don't have to know all the solutions. It's just impossible to know everything, to have every solution at hand. And by asking for support, you're also integrating other people into the project, into the development and the creation of a solution. And this is an incredible, innovative, and creative process. And integrating them, you have also you're building a buy-in with these stakeholders. And the more people you have, and the more people who are working on the topic, the more innovative you will get, because you have diversity of thought and diversity of experience. So really ask for support and ask for help. So what I've just shared with you is some of the experience that I will integrate and also share in my coaching program that I'm launching this week and next week. So doors opened yesterday. On Tuesday, doors are closing next week on the 14th of June on Friday. And I'm super excited to do this. Am I nervous? No, I'm not nervous anymore. I'm just excited. I'm excited because I am realizing a dream of mine to create a community where women support each other, where women grow together, where I'm allowed to share my experience and tap into my network. I have an incredible network of really cool people, very amazing experts, and they will help me and also share their experience in this community, in this membership. And I think that women in project management face different challenges than men. And we have different obstacles in leading projects. Sometimes we're underestimated. I don't know how often I was underestimated. I cannot count anymore. Sometimes we are not heard or seen, and we, as project leaders, we need to be seen and we need to be heard. And my mission is really to change this and help women, support women in delivering their most exciting projects. Passion for Projects Academy, for me, is also the possibility to create my dream company. The company I was always dreaming of, where I know it's possible to have flexible work time, to have shared leadership, and I will have 50% women on all levels. I will probably start with 100% of women, but you get it. I really want women, at least 50% everywhere, with shared leadership and with a flexible work. And I know this is possible, and I know I can create this. So what is my project excellence experience? What is my coaching program about? As I said, it's a safe space. It's a safe space where women in project or in project management, whether they are already project managers or not yet, where they have a safe space to ask questions, to share their experience and ask for advice, where we have weekly group coaching calls. I'm not yet sure if I will provide one-on-one coaching, if this is required, or if people want one-to-one coaching. I fundamentally believe that group coaching is the most energetic and the most efficient way to grow and to learn, because you're learning from other people, from other experiences as well. And throughout my whole career over the last 23 years, I often had role plays, and whether it was in communication experiences, whether it was in presentation, whether it was in negotiation, role plays were always a key element of my learning. And it helps you when you say you have a difficult conversation ahead, a difficult stakeholder meeting or a steering committee meeting, to actually train this situation beforehand. So that is, let's say, the group coaching element. There will be monthly deep dives on content, but that's basically the setup: the community, the coaching, and the monthly deep dive. And the monthly deep dive is on 5 topics or 5 areas. A lot about stakeholder management and also business case management, because you as a project manager, project leader, you are responsible to deliver on a business case. Projects in companies are not there just for fun. They need to achieve and realize a business case. And this business case management or business case may look different for different stakeholders, and how you manage this, that is part of this topic. A second topic is about your role, and more important, your reputation as a project manager. And reputation is not the same as the personal brand. The reputation is what other stakeholders, what other people think of you and how they perceive you. And for you as a project leader, it is important to understand what you can do in order to have a tough reputation, an engaging reputation, an empathetic reputation, an innovative reputation towards the different stakeholders. So the question is, what reputation do I need to have? To whom? So to what type of stakeholders, and why? For what purpose? So what reputation to whom and for what purpose? And how you're managing this reputation is part of that topic. The third one, well, it's about clarity, it's about confidence, it's about courage. Some of these situations really take courage, and I believe that courage is a muscle that you can build. And building your confidence and your courage is one of the key elements that we're doing in the coaching experience. We have also a lot about communication and politics. So how do you communicate effectively? How do you manage politics in projects? I'm absolutely sure that you have experienced political situations in project management, and how you can navigate this is part of this. And the last element is conflict and change. So how do you solve conflict and how do you manage change within a project. And I believe that these are 5 essential power skills that you need to have and that you need to develop as a project manager if you are on the track to bigger, more complex, more difficult projects, more rewarding projects for your career. So what is the launch? It's a founding member launch. And a founding member launch is only once in a lifetime because I'm launching this only once the first time. It will be, or it's raw, it's under construction. I have never ever set up this sort of coaching program before. So it is my first time. I know I can deliver. I know I can deliver. I know what I want to do. I know the concepts, but I've never delivered it. So I'm looking for founding members who take the leap of faith in me and say, I trust you. I believe you can help me, and who help me create this experience. Because I need the feedback. I need your feedback to say, yes, my concepts are good and you understand what I'm talking about. And maybe you come up and say, well, Ines, all this political thing is nice, but actually I need something completely different. I need a different delivery. I need something else. And if I know that you need something else, and I can create this, I can support you. And that's my dream, to really, build something incredible with the founding members. The price, I think, is also very attractive, 49 euros plus tax on a monthly base, or 499 euros plus tax on the annual base. And that's the founding member price launch. And in September, I'm ready to launch on a full scale, and then it's a different price. If you say interesting to me, I think I could absolutely gain value out of this. Join me. The doors are open until the 14th of June. I'm closing the doors afterwards. And drop me an email and I'll send you the information and the payment link. And then it's rock and roll. So I hope you enjoyed this session. I had fun. I really, really enjoy doing this not only these LinkedIn Lives, but also sharing experience and supporting women in project management. If you have any questions, remarks, or questions where you say, Ines, can you do a LinkedIn Live on topic XYZ? Drop me an email or drop me a comment, and I hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful rest of Wednesday, and I hope you had an amazing time. Take care.